Transformational development within the context of the changing climate today is something that needs to be looked into from every dimension. Transformational development involves everyone to be on board, and more so within a continent that is youthful. There needs to be a different recalibration, not only in thinking but also in a kind of action that needs to be taken. If you look across the entire world today, within the context of which we are operating in at the moment, we are operating under the changing climate that is already manifesting itself through droughts, whether we're talking the Horn of Africa or the Sahel, through floods, through cyclones that have actually caused and inflicted pain on many people. But what we need to do is to look at how can we be able, within the midst of these challenges and vulnerabilities, drive transformational change, and more so happening at a time when we are actually, as a global community, handling this global pandemic called COVID-19, or the coronavirus. Then how do we build and drive and build resilience of communities after this COVID-19? So there are 4 points that you need to take note of. The first is, within the context of Africa, Africa's transformation will be bottom up and not top down. It is the productive engagement of ordinary citizens, especially the youth, who are engaged in enterprises that will transform the African continent. Ordinary citizens are important. That takes me to my second point, which is there is need for a steady narrative to rally people to action around a strategic area. And the narrative must be one that clearly points participants to a specific direction of action, such that regardless of the discipline they might be engaged in, they ultimately work and use the abilities towards advancing the one shared narrative. This is crucial. And that takes me to my third point. The narrative must be founded on something tangible and strategic that can transition Africa from vulnerability to global competitiveness. Creating jobs for the youth and driving inclusive wealth is crucial, and it is important. As we know from basic economics, just as an enterprise, every country needs to leverage on areas of its competitive advantage that will offer it the shortest route to ascend to global competitiveness. In Africa, 365 days of sunshine that constitute clean energy, and the agro value chain offers the shortest route. So clean energy and the entire agro value chain that is worth over $1 trillion in less than 10 years from today. This represents Africa's competitive strength, Africa's comparative advantage. Africa holds the best solar resource in the entire planet. It has the most arable land. Over 65% of global uncultivated arable land is in this continent. Combining these two areas provide the continent an opportunity to establish clean energy powered agro-industrialization, which will unlock multiple enterprise opportunities along diverse sectors. Already the continent has a 150 billion a year market that needs to be tapped with competitive offerings, and this is the fuel to tap to drive these enterprises. It is the fuel to tap to drive youth opportunities where they can actually turn challenges into opportunities. The narrative, therefore, must align to this reality of the agency of sustainable agro-industrialization and invite everyone, regardless of disciplinary backgrounds, to engage in solutions process. And that takes me to my last point. We must work with the willing, but the work must start with what we already have. Africa is a continent with so many policies. Some people have even jokingly said that Africa is a cemetery for policies. The policies we have, the enabling environment that is already in place, is what we must use. The arena of action needs to start with where our producers are, our farmers in the villages. How can they, through cooperatives, be supported to be adding value to what they produce and to find markets so they can increase incomes? How can they work with the youth to deliver practical solutions? Because these youth are already proving that they are not just leaders of tomorrow, but they are leaders of today. they have risen to the occasion and have proven that when they are guided in a structured way, they can be able to deliver results and more so do what their passion also leads them to do. Structured guidance to tap into these opportunities is what innovative volunteerism is offering. Innovative volunteerism is not a word. Innovative volunteerism is climate action. Innovative volunteerism is youth